What is happening, everybody? Josh here from Spawn Fly Fish, and we're back with another tying tutorial today, showcasing a couple Spawn products, including a football bead, Polliwog tail, and Spawn Simi seal. Stay with us as we bring this minnow pattern to life. Alrighty, in the vise we have an Ahrex FW550 size number 8 with a Spawn football bead in 7mm in gold. One thing we really want to stress is the size of the hook that we're using today, and we're utilizing it with a Spawn Polliwog tail. The reality of it is, with these tails, the range of hooks that you can use and implement this product is massive. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to take that Spawn Polliwog tail, we're going to fold it in half, we're going to cut that out, we're going to be able to get 2 of these Polliwog Sparkle Minnow variations out of one tail. Next thing we're going to do here is we're going to take our thread and begin throwing in some thread wraps. We're going to pin this bead up here. We're not going to use any lead free or lead wire today. I'm just going to hold that up just like that. Really simple. And then work our thread back to the bend of the hook here. We're going to then take our half of our Spawn Polliwog tail and we're going to tie that in off the back. This is the golden olive, and we're going to wrap that down. These Spawn Polliwog tails are extremely durable. Sweet. Alrighty, that is on there. And it is not going anywhere. It's going to last many fish. Alright, the next material we're going to use, again, following the Spawn theme here, is some Snicklefritz. This is Spawn Simi seal, and it is going to be the perfect shade here for this pattern, among many other patterns that you could use. If you have not used this blend of Spawn Simi seal, it is a must. Especially if you like sparkle minnows like I do. I've been a big fan of that pattern for many years now, and I've created several variations, including this one that I now use, which is what's really fun to do behind the vise. So we have the articulated sparkle minnow that's here on this page. This is kind of a blend between the Oli Moly and sparkle minnow. So as you know, and if you follow this page, Clump and Dump is live and well, so just one little clump there, and we're going to continue to work our way up the shank of this hook, being pretty sparse here. We don't want a massive profile here, but we do want to make sure that we get some of this in here. Usually 3 dumps does it, or clumps. Veil it back. And for the thread, we're using a Danville 210, all the while being mindful of an even distribution. As you can see there, hopefully it is a pretty good job thus far. Alrighty, and that Spawn Polliwog tail is going to extend past the Simi seal, which is important. We want that end of that tail to really wisp around in the water and have tons and tons of movement, which these things do. Alrighty, one more little clump of Spawn Simi seal Snicklefritz ought to do it. Loose wrap, tight wrap, veil it back. Sweet. Alrighty. The body and foundation is set. You can brush that out a little bit if you want to. Now is a good time. Unlock any of those trapped fibers. Not too much, but if you did do a dubbing loop or you dubbed your thread, you will have some trapped fibers in there. So now is a really good time to unhook those. Alright, now time to make this thing sparkle. Next material we're going to use here is the ice dub in gold. And we don't need a lot of this, but we are going to use a decent amount, I would say. It's going to lay pretty flat out of all the ice dubs. This is a little bit finer of one. So just a couple wraps there, right in the front, veil it back. And keep your wraps, don't go over it at this point. So let that ice dub act as if it's just coming right out of the bead. When we glue this in, it's going to hold and trap all those fibers back. Alright, so the last tie-in material we're going to use here is another ice dub, Minnow belly. And what we're utilizing this for is, again, give it that sparkle feel, but really just to blend all of these dubbings together and create that belly look on this pattern. So what we're going to do here, we're thinning it up a little bit. It's going to bring the gold and the Snicklefritz all together. We're going to make this really come to life here. I'll reposition that just a little bit. Got ahead of myself here. All right. There we go. One more wrap. And then you can just kind of spread this out so that it just merges all those dubbings together when it comes back. Alrighty. There we go. We're looking pretty good, looking very sparkly. Exactly what we want. We want to make sure after we glue these eyes on and add a little head cement, that it's not interfering with that polliwog tail. We don't want that dubbing to go the length of the tail. We want it to be a little shorter. So a little whip finish. We're going to toss in a little head cement right now because it's going to get a little challenging here in a second. If you're using resin to fill in these eyes, you don't need to. As I've shared here in the past, the resins that I like to use seem to always give me allergic reaction, so no resin for me today. But so far, so good. Again, we'll come in and we'll kind of thin some of this out here after it's all said and done. But we're going to position this, secure the vise here, and we're going to add some 3D eyes. So we'll take a little bit of super glue here, and we'll just go right on the side of the shank of the hook there, a little dab. Careful, it does like to come out pretty quick sometimes. We're using a 4mm living eye in wind. Push that down like so. Turn it so you can see it upside down, but you get the point. And then we'll keep this level. I like to have my vise flat like this when I'm adding eyes, just so I can push down instead of squeezing in. Another little dab. Come in here with this last eye. And there we have it. That is the Polliwog Sparkle Minnow. Tasty little morsel here. I'll pop it out here and then reposition it so you can really see. Again, we'll go in, we'll kind of thin out some of this dubbing so that it is not going to impede on the spawn polliwog tail. We'll let it dry first. And that is it. Really, really nice little pattern. As I've said before, big fan of the Sparkle Minnow, and even a bigger fan when I can incorporate some Spawn products into a pattern that I like and kind of recreate it on my own. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.